Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Stick to firmly. Create social or emotional ties. Fasten or secure with a rope, string, or cord. Cause to be constipated. Bind by an obligation. Cause to be indebted. Wrap around with something so as to cover or enclose. Secure with or as if with ropes. Form a chemical bond with. The hydrogen binds the oxygen. Make fast. Tie or secure, with or as if with a rope. The Chinese would bind the feet of their women. Provide with a binding. Bind the books in leather. Something that hinders as if with bonds. Stick to firmly. Will this wallpaper adhere to the wall? Be a devoted follower or supporter. The residents of this village adhered to Catholicism. Be loyal to. Come or be in close contact with, stick or hold together and resist separation. Be compatible or in accordance with. You must adhere to the rules. Follow through or carry out a plan without deviation. They adhered to their plan. Stick to firmly. Criminal law. Money that must be forfeited by the bondsman if an accused person fails to appear in court for trial. A $10,000 bond was furnished by an alderman. A certificate of debt, usually interest-bearing or discounted, that is issued by a government or corporation in order to raise money. The issuer is required to pay a fixed sum annually until maturity and then a fixed sum to repay the principal. A superior quality of strong durable white writing paper, originally made for printing documents. Create social or emotional ties. The grandparents want to bond with the child. A restraint that confines or restricts freedom, especially something used to tie down or restrain a prisoner. Bring together in a common cause or emotion. The property of sticking together, as of glue and wood, or the joining of surfaces of different composition. A connection based on kinship or marriage or common interest. Their friendship constitutes a powerful bond between them. United States civil rights leader who was elected to the legislature in Georgia but was barred from taking his seat because he opposed the Vietnam War, born 1940. British secret operative 007 in novels by Ian Fleming. A connection that fastens things together. An electrical force linking atoms. Issue bonds on. Stick to firmly. Marijuana leaves rolled into a cigarette for smoking. Stick to firmly. Be a devoted follower or supporter. She sticks to her principles. Stay put, in a certain place. Put, fix, force, or implant. Stick your thumb in the crack. Be a mystery or bewildering to. A lever used by a pilot to control the ailerons and elevators of an airplane. Be loyal to. Informal terms for the leg. Fever left him weak on his sticks. Saddle with something disagreeable or disadvantageous. Come or be in close contact with, stick or hold together and resist separation. A long implement, usually made of wood, that is shaped so that hockey or polo players can hit a puck or ball. A long thin implement resembling a length of wood. Cinnamon sticks. An implement consisting of a length of wood. He collected dry sticks for a campfire. A rectangular quarter-pound block of butter or margarine. A small thin branch of a tree. Be or become fixed. The door sticks, we will have to plane it. Cover and decorate with objects that pierce the surface. Stick some feathers in the turkey before you serve it. Endure. Fasten into place by fixing an end or point into something. Stick the corner of the sheet under the mattress. Fasten with an adhesive material like glue. Stick the poster onto the wall. Fasten with or as with pins or nails. Stick the photo onto the corkboard. Pierce or penetrate or puncture with something pointed. Pierce with a thrust using a pointed instrument. Threat of a penalty. The policy so far is all stick and no carrot. Stick to firmly. Keep to. Stick to the diet. Take temporary possession of as a security, by legal authority. Create social or emotional ties. Be attached. Be in contact with. Become attached. The spider's thread attached to the window sill. Cause to be attached. A social or business relationship. He was sorry he had to sever his ties with other members of the team. A fastener that serves to join or connect. Finish a game with an equal number of points, goals, etc. The teams drew a tie. Create social or emotional ties. One of the cross braces that support the rails on a railway track. The British call a railroad tie a sleeper. A horizontal beam used to prevent two other structural members from spreading apart or separating. He nailed the rafters together with a tie beam. Fasten or secure with a rope, string, or cord. They tied their victim to the chair. The finish of a contest in which the score is tied and the winner is undecided. Their record was 3 wins, 6 losses and a tie. Connect, fasten, or put together 2 or more pieces. Neckwear consisting of a long narrow piece of material worn, mostly by men, under a collar and tied in knot at the front. He stood in front of the mirror tightening his necktie. Perform a marriage ceremony. A cord, or string or ribbon or wire etc., with which something is tied. He needed a tie for the packages. Equality of score in a contest. Form a knot or bow in. Tie a necktie. Limit or restrict to. I am tied to eunuchs. Make by tying pieces together. The fishermen tied their flies. Music, a slur over 2 notes of the same pitch, indicates that the note is to be sustained for their combined time value. Unite musical notes by a tie. Impede with a clog or as if with a clog. My mind is constipated today. Cause to be constipated. These foods tend to constipate you. Be capable of holding or containing. The flask holds 1 gallon. Be pertinent or relevant or applicable. This theory holds for all irrational numbers. have or possess, either in a concrete or an abstract sense. She holds a master's degree from Harvard. Be the physical support of, carry the weight of. The beam holds up the roof. Resist or confront with resistance. A state of being confined, usually for a short time. The prisoner is on hold. Lessen the intensity of, temper, hold in restraint, hold or keep within limits. Hold your tongue. Drink alcohol without showing ill effects. He can hold his liquor. Cause to stop. Have room for, hold without crowding. The auditorium can't hold more than 500 people. Time during which some action is awaited. He ordered a hold in the action. Have or hold in one's hands or grip. A crazy idea took hold of him. Organize or be responsible for. Hold a reception. The appendage to an object that is designed to be held in order to use or move it. Be valid, applicable, or true. This theory still holds. Protect against a challenge or attack. Maintain, a theory, thoughts, or feelings. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. This holds the local until the express passengers change trains. Keep in mind or convey as a conviction or view. Hold these truths to be self-evident. The space in a ship or aircraft for storing cargo. Have rightfully, of rights, titles, and offices. Contain or hold, have within. The canteen holds fresh water. Bind by an obligation, cause to be indebted. I'll hold you by your promise. A cell in a jail or prison. Be in accord, be in agreement. I hold with those who say life is sacred. The act of grasping. She kept a firm hold on the railing. Secure and keep for possible future use or application. Cause to continue in a certain state, position, or activity. E.g., keep clean. Hold in place. Support or hold in a certain manner. She holds her head high. Declare to be. Understanding of the nature or meaning or quality or magnitude of something. Arrange for and reserve something for someone else in advance. Please hold a table at Maxim's. Aim, point, or direct. Assert or affirm. Rousseau's philosophy holds that people are inherently good. A stronghold. Cover as for protection against noise or smell. Hold one's nose. Have as a major characteristic. The novel holds many surprises. Hold the attention of. She can hold an audience spellbound. Keep from departing. Keep from exhaling or expelling. Hold your breath. Power by which something or someone is affected or dominated. He has a hold over them. Remain committed to. I hold to these ideas. Remain in a certain state, position, or condition. Stop dealing with. Hold all calls to the president's office while he is in a meeting. Take and maintain control over, often by violent means. Force somebody to do something. Bind by an obligation. Cause to be indebted. Commit in order to fulfill an obligation. Obligate money. Restricted to a particular condition of life. An obligate anaerobe can survive only in the absence of oxygen. Force somebody to do something. Provide a service or favor for someone. We had to oblige him. Bind by an obligation. Cause to be indebted. A piece of soft material that covers and protects an injured part of the body. Wrap around with something so as to cover or enclose. Dress by covering or binding. The nurse bandaged a sprained ankle. Secure with or as if with ropes. Tie down the prisoners. Restrain from independence by an obligation. Secure in or as if in a berth or dock. Tie up the boat. Finish the last row. Secure with or as if with ropes. Tie up the old newspapers and bring them to the recycling shed. Invest so as to make unavailable for other purposes. Restrain from moving or operating normally. Architecture. A triangular bracket of brick or stone, usually of slight extent. Secure with or as if with ropes. A framework of beams, rafters, posts, struts, forming a rigid structure that supports a roof or bridge or other structure. Medicine. A bandage consisting of a pad and belt, worn to hold a hernia in place by pressure. Support structurally. Truss the roofs. Tie the wings and legs of a bird before cooking it. Make a logical or causal connection. I cannot relate these events at all. Be relevant to. Be in a relationship with. How are these two observations related? Give an account of. The witness related the events. Have or establish a relationship to. She relates well to her peers. Immune to attack. Incapable of being tampered with. A secure telephone connection. Fill or close tightly with or as if with a plug. Make certain of. Furnish with battens. Financially safe. A secure investment. Get by special effort. Cause to be firmly attached. Free from fear or doubt. Easy in mind. He was secure that nothing will be held against him. A sure payment of. Free from danger or risk. Secure from harm. Not likely to fail or give way. The lock was secure. A determination of the place where something is. He got a good fix on the target. Informal terms for a difficult situation. He got into a terrible fix. Restore by replacing a part or putting together what is torn or broken. Put something somewhere, firmly. Fix your eyes on this spot. Make infertile. Decide upon or fix definitely. Fix the variables. Make ready or suitable or equip in advance for a particular purpose or for some use, event, etc. I was fixing to leave town after I paid the hotel bill. Take vengeance on or get even. That'll fix him good. The act of putting something in working order again. Prepare for eating by applying heat. Fix breakfast for the guests, please. Cause to be firmly attached. She fixed her gaze on the man. Make fixed, stable or stationary. Let's fix the picture to the frame. An exemption granted after influence, e.g., money, is brought to bear. Collusion resulted in tax fixes for gamblers. Influence an event or its outcome by illegal means. Fix a race. Kill, preserve, and harden tissue in order to prepare for microscopic study. Set or place definitely. Let's fix the date for the party. Something craved, especially an intravenous injection of a narcotic drug. She needed a fix of chocolate. Make tight or tighter. Cause to be firmly attached. Fasten the lock onto the door. Attach to. They fastened various nicknames to each other. Become fixed or fastened. This dress fastens in the back. Make unwilling. Make unfit or unsuitable. Cause to feel unwell. She was indisposed. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. Compel to behave in a certain way. Duty constrains one to act often contrary to one's desires or inclinations. Severely restrict in scope or extent. Deprive of freedom. Take into confinement. Close in. Place limits on, extent or amount or access. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. Prevent from leaving or from being removed. Prevent the action or expression of. She struggled to restrain her impatience at the delays. To close within bounds, or otherwise limit or deprive of free movement. Restrict someone or something, so as to make free movement difficult. Prevent someone or something from doing something. Security guards restrained the reporter from throwing another shoe. A recording of a song that was first recorded or made popular by somebody else. They made a cover of a Beatles song. Form a cover over. The grass covered the grave. Clothe, as if for protection from the elements. Cover your head. A fixed charge by a restaurant or nightclub over and above the charge for food and drink. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The cover concealed their guns from enemy aircraft. Travel across or pass over. The caravan covered almost 100 miles each day. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The period covered the turn of the century. A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something. Under cover of darkness. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one sphere or territory. This should cover everyone in the group. Fire that makes it difficult for the enemy to fire on your own individuals or formations. Artillery provided covering fire for the withdrawal. Put something on top of something else. Cover the meat with a lot of gravy. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. The protective covering on the front, back, and spine of a book. Make up for shortcomings or a feeling of inferiority by exaggerating good qualities. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. He pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Hide from view or knowledge. The president covered the fact that he bugged the offices in the White House. Be responsible for reporting the details of, as in journalism. The cub reporter covered New York City. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. Put the cover back on the kettle. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The course covered all of Western civilization. Sit on, eggs. The female covers the eggs. Protect by insurance. The insurance won't cover this. Cover as if with a shroud. Copulate with a female, used especially of horses. The horse covers the mare. A false identity and background, especially one created for an undercover agent. Her new name and passport or cover for her next assignment. Be responsible for guarding an opponent in a game. Be sufficient to meet, defray, or offset the charge or cost of. Is this enough to cover the check? Help out by taking someone's place and temporarily assuming his responsibilities. She is covering for our secretary who is ill this week. Hold within range of an aimed firearm. Invest with a large or excessive amount of something. She covered herself with glory. Maintain a check on, especially by patrolling. The second officer covered the top floor. Play a higher card than the one previously played. Smith covered again. Protect or defend, a position in a game. He covered left field. Provide for. The grant doesn't cover my salary. Provide with a covering or cause to be covered. Cover her face with a handkerchief. Spread over a surface to conceal or protect. This paint covers well. To take an action to protect against future problems. Count the cash in the drawer twice just to cover yourself. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. Tending to deter. The deterrent effects of high prices. The act of hindering or obstructing or impeding. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. Any obstruction that impedes or is burdensome. The condition of being unable to perform as a consequence of physical or mental unfitness. Put at a disadvantage. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. Injure permanently. Advantage given to a competitor to equalize chances of winning. Attempt to forecast the winner, especially in a horse race, and assign odds for or against a contestant. An appraisal of the state of affairs. A check on its dependability under stress. Be verified or confirmed. Pass inspection. These stories don't check. Make cracks or chinks in. The heat checked the paint. A mark left after a small piece has been chopped or broken off of something. Examine so as to determine accuracy, quality, or condition. Check the brakes. Develop a child's or animal's behavior by instruction and practice, especially to teach self-control. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Lessen the intensity of temper. Hold in restraint. Hold or keep within limits. The state of inactivity following an interruption. Held them in check. Find out, learn, or determine with certainty, usually by making an inquiry or other effort. Slow the growth or development of. A written order directing a bank to pay money. He paid all his bills by check. Be careful or certain to do something. Make certain of something. Mark into squares or draw squares on. Draw crossed lines on. Additional proof that something that was believed, some fact or hypothesis or theory, is correct. A mark indicating that something has been noted or completed, etc. As he called the roll, he put a check mark by each student's name. The act of inspecting or verifying. They made a check of their equipment. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. The bill in a restaurant. He asked the waiter for the check. Put a check mark on or near or next to. Please check each name on the list. Be compatible, similar or consistent. Coincide in their characteristics. The handwriting checks with the signature on the check. Hold back, as of a danger or an enemy. Check the expansion or influence of. The act of restraining power or action or limiting excess. Abandon the intended prey, turn, and pursue an inferior prey. Arrest the motion of something abruptly. He checked the flow of water by shutting off the main valve. A textile pattern of squares or crossed lines, resembling a checkerboard. She wore a skirt with checks. Block or impede, a player from the opposing team, in ice hockey. Chess, a direct attack on an opponent's king. Consign for shipment on a vehicle. Check your luggage before boarding. Decline to initiate betting. Hand over something to somebody as for temporary safekeeping. Make an examination or investigation. Check into the rumor. Obstructing an opponent in ice hockey. Place into check. He checked my kings. Stop for a moment, as if out of uncertainty or caution. She checked for an instant and missed a step. Stop in a chase, especially when scent is lost. The dog checked. Verify by consulting a source or authority. Check the spelling of this word. Write out a check on a bank account. Any structure that makes progress difficult. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. The act of hindering or obstructing or impeding. Something immaterial that interferes with or delays action or progress. Any obstruction that impedes or is burdensome.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.